Listen, this is what you guys have to understand. You are paid for your skills. That's it. You paid for your skills. And look at this. As everybody know, I got this welding job, right? And the company hands on this welding job, all the craftsmen on this job make anywhere from $32 to $34 an hour. The majority of everybody is making about $34 an hour. Some guys making 33, some making 32. All right. You're not getting any more money but that right there, 32 to 34. You can work all the overtime they have to offer. Right now, they're just offering 10 hours a week. No, they're offering Fridays, which is 10-hour shift of overtime. You work 10 hours Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which is 40. If you come in Friday, you get 10 hours of time and a half. That's it. We don't have nothing else to give you but that right there. Because you're only paid for the skill that you have. Now, if a guy was smart, he'll work that job Monday through Friday. And then some guys know how to repair stuff. Some guys are HVAC repair guys. Some guys are plumbers. Some guys are electricians. I talked with one guy. He said he's a musician. He said, man, I'm a musician, man. That's how I make my money on the weekend, which is good. You have to have something to bring in another income. Because then you build on top of the skills that you have. It's a guy I go to church with. He know how to do a little bit of plumbing. He know how to do a little bit of electrical. He know how to do a little bit of HVAC. He know how to do a little bit of everything. He's what you call a handyman. He know how to do a little bit of everything. And he started a handyman business. So when you call him, tell him what you have. He'll be like, yeah, let me see if I can fix it. And he go over there and look at it. Oh yeah, I can get this done. Out of the years he's been a handyman, he's had to call in help maybe twice because it was something he couldn't figure out. And once he figured it out, boom, that was another skill in the tool bag when you are paid for your skills. Like for instance, that time I told y'all I woke up one morning and the stove in the house wasn't working. So I'm like, man, this stove kind of new for it to not be working. I think I want to say the stove was maybe about 3-4 years old. So, and you turn it on, everything comes on. Here's what I learned. I'm like, man, everything coming on, so it must be probably the heat element in the stove went out. I'm not about to pay a appliance repair guy $120 to come out, and then on top of that, another $175 for the part. So I'm already at $300-400 when I can just spend $800-900 to get a brand new stove. So I ran to Lowe's, bought a brand new stove, got the stove home, plugged it up, same thing. The light's coming on, but the stove isn't getting hot. So guess what? I had to call a handyman. Because I don't know. I've already lost 2 hours and I got a business to run. I got $1,400 on the table to make that day. And I'm sitting here stressing about this. And I just went and spent $800 and bought another stove and it's still not working. So I called a handyman. He said, man, the guy I know. I said, yeah, man, this was going on, stove, blah, blah, blah. He said, sound like to me what you got. He said, if you check your breaker, you should have two 120, whatever you call the thing. He said, you should have two 120s. One of them has probably gone out to where 120 is turning the lights on and all that on the stove, but you need 240, whatever. 240, 220, or 210. I don't know. I'm not an electrician, not handyman. He says you need both of those to give the stove the power to actually heat up. He said you probably just got such and such is out. So he come with his little thing, checked it, read 120, checked it, read 120. I said, man, I thought you said it would be 240. He said, yeah, 120 is 240. He said, so we know it's not this. So let's go check the plug in the house because maybe one of the wires have came unloose. Shut the brake off, went to the plug, took the thing apart, make sure everything was tightened down, put everything back on, plug the stove up, stove getting hot. I said, well, let me plug my old stove up. Plug the old stove back in, took the new stove back, got a refund. And now I know next time that happened, maybe one of the screws came loose. Because I'm assuming that's what happened. One of the little wires came loose, just tighten it back down. We good to go. Handyman. And now, see, I knew that guy, so I didn't have to pay him. But if I didn't know that guy, that would have been a $250 service call. You see what I'm saying? You're paid for your skills. Listen, the skill set I have of cutting grass is not a skill set. It's a service. What I offer is simplicity. You don't want to deal with the grass. I don't mind dealing with the grass. So I can say, oh, they got a flat tire. They don't know it. I can save you time and cut this grass for you for $70, and you don't have to worry about it. Like I just got done talking with a client. He just gave me a $50 tip because this was his last cut for the year. He just gave me a $50 tip. It's $100 to get his property cut. He just gave me a $50 tip. He said, man, what I like about you, Gibson, I don't have to cut this grass. He said, and I'm going to be honest, when I picked the property up, I didn't want to do it. I was like, man, that'll be $100. I'm good. He said, man, that's fine. Once I started cutting, I said, well, it is kind of worth $100. He said, I don't want to cut the grass. He said, I don't want to cut it. He said, I'm not buying a riding mower, and I don't want to get out here with a push mower. And the last guy I had is like pulling teeth to get him to come cut the yard. And when he said that, I was like, yeah, the other guy probably wasn't charging enough. And it's not his house, it's his parents' house. He said, I cut my own yard, but I don't want to cut my own yard and then come cut my parents' yard. So I'd rather just pay somebody to cut my parents' yard. And he said, what I like about you, he said, you offer a simple service for a simple solution. I said, yeah. I said, man, you'll be surprised how many people make this simple service, simple solution hard. He said, oh, I'm sure. He said, I'm sure. He said, you got some guys that try to be too professional. He said, like before he hired me, he asked the guy to just weed eat going downside his fence. The guy told him, man, it's $25 you want me to weed eat going downside your fence. And it really wasn't much, but I understand, bro, it's business. It's business. What I would have did, but I look, man, just give me a 5-star Google review. But it's business. I get it. It's business. It's business. I understand. And he was like, I understand it's a business, but you know, he said simple. He said, keep it simple, Gibson. Simple service, simple solution, simple money. And it is. I would love to just cut grass and not do nothing else, but you have to understand, you have to stand out from the next guy. Everybody in town just want to cut grass. But the guy that's willing to do the landscaping is going to make more money. The guy that's willing to do the shrub trimming is going to make more money. Yeah, nobody want to fool with that. It's a 50% possibility when I go in your shrubs, it's a wasp nest, and I'm going to get my black behind toe up. Everybody wants simplicity. But you have to ask yourself, what is the best route for you? What is the best route for you? And always try and develop a skill and build on top of your skill set. So